the best, you know, and then like if she can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. I have the great chance to interview Monika today, and her company is about Berlin Boudoir. Do you want to talk something about Berlin Boudoir?
Yes, of course. Idea somehow was in me, I think, for several years already, but it actually, you know, was came into existence in Berlin because I finished art school with diploma in photography, and then I ended up at an internship in Amsterdam where I had to find a way to make money. And I decided, okay, you know, that's time to try out how photography can work as a commercial business. And then I got into just taking portraits of people, and I continued this idea when I moved to Berlin. And through that, I met amazing, incredible, beautiful women that booked my experience as travelers in Berlin. And I just saw how many of them feel intimidated in front of the camera because they feel that they are not up to certain standards, and that they feel that there is something missing, that they are not beautiful enough to be on the photos or whatever. And knowing it myself, because I must also say that I struggled for several years with self-consciousness about my body, I just put all the dots together and I decided, you know, I'm a woman, I know what they feel, I'm a photographer as well. If I can combine those two, I'll help those women see how they really are, because I feel that many times it's actually very much what you have in your head and what's not actually out there, and not what people actually see. Then I was like, I think I found my space in photography, you know, that I can do something that I really believe in. I can hopefully do something that would help those women, and I think that Berlin is a perfect place to do it as well.
I think like Berlin is a really great place to start a business, like it's the perfect city in Europe, or?
I think that's definitely a good spot, because I've talked to so many people that told me that the moment they came in Berlin, they started to think about all these things that they were passionate about, but somehow forgot about it on their way. Because I feel that in Berlin you have this vibe of anything is possible, and that you can risk because no one would point a finger and said, hey, you failed, you know, like there is no, I think that there are no social expectations of who you should be or what you should do. No one can say that you didn't make it. Maybe you just have to move out of a fancy district to a little bit cheaper one, but you know, you can still stay in the city. So
So you would also say that like Berlin also shaped you and created like this substantial idea. If you want to work on the vision, like being a photographer.
I want to focus on empowering intimate female portraits, but I also want to focus on the vibe that the city gives you. Like, as I was reading the history of the city, like in the late 19th century and early 20th, like Berlin was the most liberal city in Europe, you know, like there were people coming here. Of course, then we have the 20s that are so legendary in Berlin, but it started even before that. You really could feel this vibe of anything is possible here, and I do also want it in my own business. Like, I want to show women that there is a status quo with what is kind of expected in media, in fashion industry, but you know, why not start to fight it and show that this is ridiculous what they are trying to sell us. And I feel that what Berlin actually gives me, even in my idea for business, is the fact that it's very anti-capitalistic in some ways, and also very revolutionary. Like, there is this vibe of like being on the side of those that are kind of forgotten in the society.
In Berlin you can probably be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
I think this is like a great thing that you're starting your business here. When I want to be a female entrepreneur, where should I go? Where can I get help? Where to start?
Basic ways, I would say, like start basic. If you have a Facebook profile, just post there that you're looking for, I don't know, models in my situation, or clients, or people that you want to work with. The second thing I would say, just like look at the events that are happening in the neighborhoods, and there are so many possibilities right now. There are meetups that you can attend and meet some women there. Like even when I was still in Amsterdam, I went to entrepreneurial women meetup that basically changed my time that I spent in Amsterdam, because I met another girl and we decided to do something together. Maybe also this would be an insight interesting for someone. I recently discovered that this dating platform Bumble
it was like big in the news.
Yeah, they have also the business side, and you can like, you know, they even have this option that you can delete the date aspect of it.
Cool.
And then you just have the friends and the business aspect. And then I also I found online this option to join Golda program, and that's where we met.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was organized by the family, which I knew before, that exists in Berlin and tries to help entrepreneurs.
You have to really check out the family, guys.
Yeah.
Really
yes.
Cool.
Because I think that the things you need the most when you start your business is connections, because it's just hard to make it on your own. And I would say the energy, because also when you're down, that it's good to have someone else that you, like, even if you're not working together on the same project, you see, okay, you know, this girl is a boss babe, she's a badass, you know, and then like, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have any advice you want to share?
It's the most important, I think, in business is to start before you feel you're ready. That's also my biggest struggle. Like, I'm a perfectionist, and I very often have this feeling that like, no, I'm not ready yet. I need to read this book first. I need to attend this course. I need to do this and that. And you know, like, just start. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I think that if you really have the vision and passion for it, people will feel it, and then they will, you know, not care about the details that are not perfect. It's important, like, that they feel that you're real in what you're doing.
Great. Okay, thank you so much, Monika. Thank you for being here. So guys, just go for it. When you have a vision, like, just go it, be a maker and start your own business or company or project. And yeah, this was Berlin Alley Girls, and see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.